Fight Dogs, MMA, Pick Dogs, giving you guys one of the best, pretty much free prediction shows for this week. MMA Locker Room right here. Got my co-host Brad Francis. How you doing, my man?
I'm doing good, doing good. Can't complain. Little rainy day here in Denver, but no problems on this side. How you doing, man?
Man, I'm good, man. I'm hotter than man. I'm hotter than like what can I say nowadays? What do they say? Man, just know it's hot out here in California, man. It's like 100 degrees right now.
Damn,
If you got leather inside your car, oh my gosh, you're burning up right now, man, out here.
game over. But yeah, hey, before we get into it, so I just want to get your prediction. I know this is an MMA show, but who you got in the finals? Who you think's gonna win the NBA, man?
Man, I mean, I got the Warriors. I
Yeah,
think the Warriors take it, but I wouldn't be too surprised if Boston gets the win. The way that they've been looking and everything, they look like the complete team, and it looks like it's probably their year. What do you think?
yeah, it's tough for me too. My gut tells me, I mean, Warriors probably like in six. I feel that, but I don't know something about that Celtics team. If Marcus Smart could just lock up Steph Curry and force other guys to score, and then if like let's say Clay's cold or Draymond, any of those guys are cold, I could see it going the Celtics' way. But I feel like Marcus Smart is going to be the big key for that just the whole series really, the X
Man,
factor.
I got something on that. Yeah, I actually think him locking up Steph Curry is going to be the main thing. The way he plays defense on him, I think he has like one of the better stats out of there out of all the defenders on him. Another thing, since we're off topic and on topic, I did make two bets on who would be the NBA Finals MVP. One was on the Warriors, but one was on Boston. I mean, let's think about it real quick for the odds and everything. I mean, you're talking about Marcus Smart. Who would you think would be a great like MVP finals, candidate for Boston?
I mean, I just think JT. You gotta go with Jason Tatum. I don't know, like I mean, Marcus, like anyone else would be dope. Jalen, Marcus, even Al Horford if they have just an incredible series. But I would have to go with Jason Tatum.
And if you were to bet on the Warriors, who would you say it has to be?
It's got to be Steph.
All right, man. So if you want Steph right now, you can get him at plus 105. JT's at like a plus 170. I did Steph Curry and I did Marcus Smart at plus 4,000. I just think like Marcus Smart can be that X factor to where if he's playing that defense, he's going to be controlling the ball a lot. And let's just say if JT only has subpar games, which he never really does. But Marcus Smart could be that guy, to where it's like he's holding everybody together. And then look at JT, like, just be happy you got the championship. You'll get one next year. So, I mean,
Hmm.
I took Marcus Smart plus 4,000, and I took Steph Curry as well. So,
I
yeah.
like it. I like that angle there.
Hell yeah, man. Let's go, man. Let's get into it, man. Hey, UFC last week, we didn't have anything to talk about, so we took that week off. But the week before that, oh man, we had some banger fights, man. You had the main event, Holly Holm versus Caitlin Vieira. Who knows if she really lost the fight or won the fight. The judges say she lost the fight. We thought she won the fight, right?
I did, yeah. I mean, two of my picks that I gave out on the show, Holly Holm and Eric Anders, I thought both of them won. So hey, it is what it is. Dana White always says don't leave it to the judges, leave it to the judges. But I mean, sometimes it happens. Sometimes the fight does go to the judges. So it's still a shame that we're dealing with a judging problem. But yeah, that's what happens when humans are making a decision on a sporting event, where there's not like a clear cut winner. There's always gonna be questions. So it was kind of tough to see both of them lose, but it is what it is.
It is what it is, man. Last week, man, the week, like you said, went 3-1 on our premium picks over here. Shout out to everybody that got the packages and picks on that. Don't forget, you might want to get the picks early. I'm going to be putting them out tomorrow because those lines is changing, so get them while they're out. And then on the show picks that we gave out, I think I swept the card on that one. 3-0, hit the lottery pick, hit the best dog, and hit the best bet. My man Brad, he went pretty well as too, not knock some things out.
Mhm.
Only thing that we had to stumble on pretty much is that your boy Eric Anders, man. I thought he won the fight, man.
I thought he did too. I thought he grinded it out. Like,
Man,
he did what he could. Put fucking what's his name, the Turtle Man or whatever. He put him on the
right.
fence and shit, grinding him out. I thought he won two out of three rounds. So it's whatever, man.
Yep. Ain't no time, man, to delegate. Spend time on the past. Now we on the future. About to give you some picks that's gonna cash. Man, 14 fights coming up, man. Main event, you got Volkov versus Rozenstruik. Some of the fights on the card, we're not going to go over them all, but man, you got 14 fights. Some of them that stand out, Aaron Blanchfield versus J.J. Aldridge, man. Aaron Blanchfield, top prospect in the division, but the price tag on it is real high, minus 500. Then you got Jeff Molina versus Zhumagulov. That one's going to be kicking off on the prelims. You got Tony Gravely versus Johnny Munoz. That one's going to be kicking off on the prelims as well. Damian Jackson versus Daniel Almeida. Joe Selecki versus Alex De Silva. You got two girls making the return. Felice Herrick, 14-9 versus Carolina Kalwicz. Oh, man, haven't seen her in the win column since George Bush was president, coming off of 5 straight losses. Then you got the main card kicking off. Alonzo Minefield, Askar Mozharov. Then you got Ode Osbourne, Zakharov Adashev. Botelho versus Karine Silva. Mike Trizano versus Lucas Almeida. Dan 50K Dynamite Ige versus Mozharov. Then you got the main event, Alexander Volkov versus Jairzinho Rozenstruik. Man. Whole lot of fights to go over, man. So I mean, the week before that they only gave us 11. This time they're giving us 14. We're gonna chop and divide and subtract that into like half of that for you. So what's one of the fights that you want to go over on the prelims first?
Yeah, let's start off with that Jeff El Jefe Molina versus Zhalgas Zhumagulov. I think that's how you say it, but you guys know what I'm saying.
Man, let's get it on, man. So you got Jeff Molina, 10-2 coming in. This is going to be taking place at the flyweight division versus Zhalgas Zhumagulov, 14-6. Last time you seen Jeff Molina in the ring, pretty much looked good. It was against Ali Corlang, contender series fighter. Made his debut on there. Puts out a lot of value, when he's striking on there. One of the higher strikers in the division on there. Not just that, he's good at a lot of things. Good on the mat, very dangerous, very vicious. One thing, takedown defense ain't the best. Sits around 38%. I want to say. Fan favorite on Twitter. Fan favorite in the game. Everybody seems to love El Jefe. I won money with them last time. On the other side, Zhalgas, oh man, last time you seen him, I think he's coming off a loss. Wasn't looking too good in that one. Before that, though, he did have some questionable fights. One against Rubian Pavia. A lot of people thought that he won. Then he actually had a fight, I want to say, against Manel Cape in that one as well. This is a guy, pressure fighter. He's going to try to get you pressed up against the cage when he can. Leaves his hands low. Leaves his face out there hittable. Presses for takedowns, not the strongest, so he really can't convert them at times. Out of the UFC, I want to think he only converted about 3 or 4 takedowns. With those takedowns, he only converted about 1 minute to 45 seconds in control time. So he's not one of those guys that gets you down, is going to hold you down. But the game plan, if you're him, to beat Jeff Molina is to go for the takedowns, So his path to victory would be to pressure him, keep him up against the cage, Go for 3 to 4 takedowns in there. Because, if you just kind of stay up there and strike with Jeff Molina, you're going to get beat in striking match. Give you guys some betting odds for the bettors out there. Jeff Molina opened up on many of the books, minus 150. Didn't stay there too low. Now he's all the way up to a minus 200 on it. My man, Brad, how you see this fight?
Yeah, this should be a fun one. Zhalgas, I mean, he's a solid, well-rounded fighter. He's 1-3 in the UFC though. I remember he had a big win, and I was like, okay, this guy may be something. But I mean, as we saw his last fight, didn't look too well. He's just like very hittable. He doesn't have the best defense. He just kind of, like you said, just kind of pressures people, just kind of gets in their face and hope good things happen. And I think that's going to be a problem against El Jefe. I mean, Molina, he's a very quick guy. He's good on his back foot, super long, super fast. So, look, I expect Zhalgas to bring the pressure, like you said, and try to make it a dirty fight. But I just think El Jefe is going to be able to piece him up from the outside. When Zhalgas tries to get in the pocket, he's just going to get caught with some stuff. So I'm looking at El Jefe here, money line. I kind of wanted to go via finish, but I don't think that's going to be the case. I mean, Zhalgas, he seems like he has a chin. He's kind of like a zombie. So I'm going with him money line. It's a little juiced up here. So good parlay piece, if anything.
Got it, man. Like your approach on that one. Yeah, I say Jeff Molina as well. I wouldn't mind round three TKO prop, or he finishes them in round three as well. Sprinkle some little coffee money on that. Wouldn't mind that as well, man. Definitely gonna be one of the funner fights though on the card, man. Gonna be a banger, and I want to say it's the third fight on the card, so you ain't gotta wait too long to see a good fight, man.
Yep, that's gonna be action packed there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Next on the card, man. One of the fights, pretty much. We're not gonna go over too much, but it's one fight that you guys should pay attention to. It's gonna be a banger as well. Tony Gravely, 22-7 versus Johnny Munoz, 11-1, taking place at the bantamweight division. Tony Gravely, pretty much, you know how he goes in the UFC. Shoots for a lot of takedowns out there. Puts his neck in dangerous positions. So, a lot of people think that he might be susceptible for a guillotine or something like that. I ain't worried about that, man. When you see Tony Gravely in the octagon, you know what he's going to do. He's not that bad on the hands, too. He's improving, too. He trains at ATT. That's one of the better camps out there that you can train with. Johnny Munoz, he's coming off of a win over Jeffrey Simmons. Didn't look too good in the first round in that. Then the second round shot for a takedown, choked him out, got the job done. Coming off of a loss to Nate Maness. Both these opponents have the same losses to the same opponent, Nate Maness. Nate Maness beat Tony Gravely in the fight that Tony Gravely was winning. Tony Gravely was winning the whole fight, knocked him down in the ending of the first round. Nate gets back up off the bench, second round. Stone Cold knocks out Tony Gravely in the second round. So, they both fought the same opponent, has losses to them both. This is one of the fights I think people should pay attention to on the card, though. You got any thoughts on that one, or you just want to enjoy it and watch it?
Yeah, no plays on that one. I'm enjoying watch that one. May chat with you, see how you're feeling about that offline, but I feel like that's gonna be a good fight as well.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. For the people out there, man, I'll give you some betting lines. Tony Gravely opened up at a -150. Man, money's coming in on the dog. You got a lot of people out there liking the dog on this one, So, a lot of predictors I know, a lot of people on the internet, the MMA community is pretty much picking the dog on this one. So now Tony Gravely's all the way down to a -125. Man, sounds enticing to me. But so yeah, man. Can't wait to see how that fight goes. Definitely on there, man. Another fight too that I think is gonna be one banger that we're not gonna talk about is the Damon Jackson fight versus Daniel Argueta fight. Damon Jackson was supposed to be fighting Derek Manor. He had to pull out, so he got a quick notice replacement. Daniel Argueta last was fighting on LFA. If you guys remember the face or look for Vladimir say he looks familiar, that's because he was fighting on the Ultimate Fighter recently. He didn't win. He lost to I want to say the Ultimate Fighter winner, Torcos or whatever his name is. I want to say. But yeah, that's one other fight too. I want to say you guys should be looking into.
What's the odds on that one? What are those new odds? You got those yet?
Man. He could have got Damian Jackson. Well, he could have parlayed Damian Jackson at a -350. Now he's all the way up to a -550 out there. And it's one of those things to where I won money with Damian Jackson as an underdog in my last fight. He shouted me out on Twitter too, everything like that. So he's seen I made money with him. But this time, same thing, man. You could have parlayed him earlier. Now it's like -550. And to me, I don't know. Yeah, to me, it's like if you're going to touch a -500, I guess, like if you're doing something good with it, if you're going to put that -500 with something else just to make it like a way lower line, I guess. But, I can't really see the people that parlay like 3 -500s and a -300. And it's like, man, you're getting like 10 cents, $10. Like,
For real. Yeah.
Man, main card time? Ready to kick it off with that?
Let's get it.
Let's get it, man. Man. You ain't got to wait too long for this one either, man. This one's going to be kicking off with a banger, man. Taking place in the light heavyweight division. Alonzo Minefield, 11-3, taking on Askar Mozharov, 21-11. For the people out there, Alonzo Minefield pretty much, used to fight at middleweight, moves up to light heavyweight, can fight at, different weight classes in different divisions, actually. I'm familiar with him because it's one of the fighters that I seen fight in LFA before he actually came to the UFC. His last fight, he's coming off of a loss to William Knight. That fight could have went either way. But William Knight, I want to say, got him by the decision. Before that, he's coming over a win over Ed Herman. Nothing impressive over that. A win over Fabio Charant. A loss to OCP. A loss to Devin Clark. A win of Paul Craig. And a win over Vince Moraes. Give you some real quick knowledge on Alonzo Minefield. He was one of those fighters that came into the UFC, got a debut on the Contender Series. Dana White didn't like what they saw. Went over to Bellator, had one fight in Bellator, didn't even sign a contract with them. Wanted to still remain a free agent to go back to the UFC. Comes back to the UFC, Dana White Contender Series, gets in the contract, gets to the UFC from there. Hasn't really been too impressive. He's one of those guys to where, they say, he gasses out. I lost money with him too many times when he was a big favorite. It seems like I tend not to pick Alonzo Minifield's fights right. Betting lines opened up at a -140. Now he's all the way up to a -160 out there on your lines. His opponent on the other side, for the people that ain't familiar with him, you're probably not going to be, because this guy done went through a name change. This guy's record done changed on Tapology. He was supposed to fight in 2000. I want to say, what was it, 2020? Still hasn't fought since then. A lot of question marks on him. A lot of people think that he's over there having USADA issues. They think that maybe they're giving it to visa issues, saying that he can't travel. Read in between the lines with that, but a lot of his fights was canceled. We're talking about a guy who just fought cans. I mean, the guy's opponents on records, it's just horrible. He has wins over guys that's 1-3, 0-1, 6-8, 0-0. The questionable opponents is there for him. But he's an entertaining fighter, man. He's exciting. He's something to watch. He throws wild, and guaranteed UFC, they liked what they saw with him, because he was supposed to be fighting in PFL, making his debut in there. He goes in for the weigh-in, the fight gets canceled, and we still don't see him. So it's just a lot going on with this guy, man. I don't know how to trust him or anything, but for the betting advice, I think I'm taking Alonzo Minefield here on this one. But like I said, my track history with him is I can't get it right, but I'm on Alonzo Minefield tonight. Who you got for me, Brad?
Yeah, I feel the same way about Alonzo. I mean, when you look at him, he's a physical specimen. It's just like this guy, no one's beating this guy's ass. But sometimes he does just choke. He doesn't look good. And yeah, the Askar guy, I mean, he's making his USA debut. But it's a tough opponent in Minefield. But Askar is very experienced. I mean, he has 32 professional fights. But the storyline with this one, as you said, he's been fighting cans. How is he going to look against UFC competition? His last 23 fights ended in finishes. So we may see a quick one here. This guy's going to come out and he's going to try to sleep Minefield, which is a tough task. I don't know, man. It's tough. Askar, he actually fought as a middleweight as a welterweight at a point of his career. So he has a lot of size, or he's gained a lot of size, but he still has the style and movement of a welterweight. It's probably going to be a stay away from me, but I am liking Alonzo here. It's a slight lean, though, just because I could see Askar coming out just like a wild man and KOing Alonzo in the first round or some wild shit. But if I'm putting my money on it, I'm going to have to lean towards Minefield here.
Yeah, I mean, Askar is crazy, man. He spent 2 years fighting at welterweight, spent 2 years fighting at middleweight. Then he spent the other time from now moving on from heavyweight to light heavyweight. I mean, he's been bounced around everywhere. He fought somebody in BKFC, just as of recent. It's so crazy to just see, where he's been fighting at in his weight class, and now he's making his debut. But I will say this, I mean, the guy he's making his debut for, I mean, you have so many question marks about, still. So, I mean, if you can come out here and style on Alonzo Minefield and then look amazing, and everybody's going to say, oh, man, where have you been? So my pick for this fight that I like is my best pick of the night, so I keep it for the end of the show.
This one just has like a bunch of question marks for me. I'm excited as hell to watch the fight, but if I'm putting Brad on it, I'm worried no matter who I put Brad on it on. So I don't know. It's gonna be a good one to watch though.
Got you, man. Speaking of a good one to watch, you ain't gotta wait too long after that. Ode Osbourne, 10-4, taking on Zhumagulov Adashev, 4-3. Ode Osbourne, Last time you seen him in the ring, pretty much he's coming off of a win, a victory. Training out of Syndicate MMA. Tall fighter for the division, has a good jab. Wins over C.J. Varga. Lost to Manel Cape, in which he got hit with the flying knee and went out. Before that, he was looking good. Wins over Jerome Rivera. Lost to Brian Keller. So, the people that he's losing to in the division, you can see he's definitely has experience in that. Just to give you some of his little backgrounds and stuff, he's one of those explosive fighters, has a lot of first round TKOs on there. When he does want to be lackadaisy, that's when he can go out there and get beat. Sometimes he is just out there standing, not throwing volumes and stuff. Not the busiest fighter through all rounds. Tends to slow down in later rounds. But he has 3 KOs, 5 submissions, 2 to decision. I like him in this fight. Betting line opened up at a -150s all the way up to a -180 right here. His opponent on the other side, he's coming off of a win. Got his first win in the UFC. I want to say I was fading him on that fight. I forget who he was fighting, though. Let me look it up and see. Yeah, Ryan Beno. That's what it was. Yeah, man, he tore this guy's leg up. I remember it now. First, second round, he had this guy hopping around, skipping around pretty much. I don't see how the fight even lasted. But before that, coming off a loss to Sumajuri and a loss to Tyson Nam, I remember both of those fights. I actually remember all 3 of this guy's fights because he came into the UFC and I'm like, why is he here with a record like this? Oh, he's a good kickboxer. All right, cool. Let me see some shit. Didn't show me nothing. Got knocked down in round 1, 32 seconds versus Tyson now. Then has a loss to Sumajuri. Sumajuri's, a top prospect too, so nothing's bad in that. Bounce back with the win over Ryan Beno. I can't trust him enough to put my money on this one. The pick's Ode Osbourne for me.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm gonna go the opposite here. I mean, this guy's Zarrukh, 4-3 professional fighter. So, look, he hasn't looked too great like so far in his full. I think you hopped off, Mill. You still in? You still in here? Oh, there you go, champ. We back. Yeah, I can't hear you though. You can hear me?
I'm here.
Oh, we back. All right. Good.
I'm here.
Awesome. Yeah, no, I just
All right,
popped
all
off,
right.
but you good. Yeah, this guy's Zarrukh, 4-3 as a professional, but like you said, man, he's a great kickboxer. Didn't look too good in his first 2 UFC fights, but I mean, he picked up some good momentum in that last one. So these guys, they're this is gonna be a striking match. It's gonna be a pure striking match. Favors Zarrukh. I mean, his forte is kickboxing, so I'm gonna take my chances with the underdog here at +160. Ode Osbourne, he is a fun fighter, super long, good on his feet. It's also a tough weight cut for Ode Osbourne. So, yeah, I'm going to go with the dog here. Give me Zarrukh here. It's kind of crazy because he's 4 and
I,
3,
I,
but shit.
No, no, no. I feel you on this. This is one too, the way I see a lot of people picking the underdog in this one too as well. But yeah, I think if Osborne uses his wrestling too, just because that's the path to victory with a lot of these kickboxers nowadays. It seems like if you can wrestle them and get them down, you can win. And one thing I noticed about a lot of these kickboxers and Muay Thai strikers that come over to the UFC, they don't really punch with power. They have great technique and stuff like that, and the stuff looks pretty, but they're not really TKOing nobody, and stuff like that. So the power is not transforming into the octagon like how it was where they're at. And with me, Ode Osbourne, only thing he has to do is just implement that wrestling, and if he does that, it'll be his easy fight for him. If he implements a 15-minute fight of striking with a kickboxer, of course he's gonna be, up for the taking, but I think it got to come down to fight IQ, and I'm going with my man Ode Osbourne. He's invested in the crypto. I see him out there on the Twitter Spaces, so he's smart enough than that. So he's smart enough to know where to put his money in. So I know he's smart enough to have a good game plan to get the win. Let's go, man. Ode Osbourne. I
Does
see you.
does Ode wrestle though? I feel like I don't know.
He
He's definitely a
doesn't.
better
He
wrestler
doesn't.
than Zarrukh, but
You're right. He
yeah.
doesn't. But this is the thing. I think he has like averages like 1.4 takedowns in the UFC. Shout out to Stat Diggers. I want to say that's still in my memory. Yeah. But he can, and it's like, the possibility is there. And it's like this to me, when you go into a fight, and if the path to victory is to, wrestle, and you're like, all right, well, I'm not really the wrestling type, but it'll be so easy if I do it. And then once you do it, I think so, man. I think, yeah,
Hey,
I think he'll get it done. But hey, like I said, I mean, I'm just speaking on the path to victory for him, I mean, shit. I mean, do you think this fight goes the distance or not?
I think it does. I mean, like you said, with these kickboxers, they kind of sometimes they don't throw all their power in there. It's more like technique. So I think this is going to be a stand-up fight. I think it's going to be a point fight, really. These guys both just bounce it around, just leg kicks, just quick jabs, things like that. Nothing really too crazy, and I think we see a decision here. And I think it may be close. I think it's going to be a close fight, but no, I'm going to take my chances with the high-level kickboxer here.
I got you, man. Next fight on the card, man. Women's delight, man. Poliana Botelho, 8-4 record, takes on Karine Silva, 14-4 record. Botelho, pretty much, she's fighting for a job right now, man. She needs to win. Coming off some losses recently, took a step back from the ring too. Haven't seen her in a minute actually. Last time we seen her, I think it was a loss to Luina Carolina. That was in 2021, early June. Then before that, lost to Jillian Robertson. Went over Lauren Merler, lost to Cynthia Calvila. So I mean, yeah, man, she's fighting for a job right now. Give you guys some betting lines on it. She opened up at the underdog price. Plus 105, you could have got her at. Now she's a favorite. Minus 115, pretty much still a pick 'em. Could go either way on there. But the way it looks like it's going, man, they feeding you to a contender, literally off the Dana White Contender Series. Karine Silva coming in, man. If you guys ain't seen nothing about her or anything, vernacular, oh my gosh, bro. You see her vernacular, you see her shoulders, you see the way she's built. You do not want to be on the bottom of this girl right here. She's one of those girls to where she definitely has the frame for the division. Made her debut in the Contender Series. Round 2, guillotine choke, got the job done against Q Yan, I want to say. Yeah, it was a Japanese fighter. It's kind of suspect, competition, when you get this Japanese fighters making their trips over here in USA and stuff like that. But she wasn't looking that good in round 1, but she turned her around in round 2. She's one of those girls, man, vicious though, man. A lot of ground and pounds, man. A lot of her fights, a lot of her wins, should I say, wins inside the distance, I want to say. Just to give you the correct stats on it, because I ain't going to be one of those guys. Oh, yeah, correct. She has 14 of her wins, all inside the distance, man. So that's something serious in there. So she definitely has that finishing capability on her. So right now she's at a minus 105. Her game plan to me is just to be the more aggressive fighter on her. Botella, she has a good kickboxing too. She's a Muay Thai fighter. But same thing like I was saying earlier, she doesn't pack a lot of punch on those punches that she's throwing. So it's one of those things to where are you gonna look at the person doing more damage, or are you gonna look at the person throwing more strikes? And this one, I tend to go with a little bit of underdog right now. So go ahead and give me a Karine Silva right now. I like her aggressive. I think I like her aggressiveness. I think she comes to bring violence in the game, and that's one thing that these women, a lot of them don't do. A lot of them are just used to training. A lot of these women that fight, they do MMA to train, because it's like, okay, I'm gonna do this instead of going to the gym, or they go to the gym and somebody tells them you should do this now, and start training MMA. She's not that type, man. She looks like the type that wants to fight just to beat you up. So I'm on Silva right here. What about you, my man?
Yeah, I totally agree with you. This girl Silva looks like an absolute savage. I mean, we saw her in the Contender Series making her UFC debut, but I think this is a great matchup her against Botelho. I mean, Botelho currently on a 2-fight losing streak, and she's not going to bring the power. I mean, this girl is, like you said, all technique. It looks like she got an MMA just to get a workout in, and like you said, this girl Silva is ready to kill. So I just think this is an awful matchup for Botelho. I think Silva comes in here, brings the power, and just outmuscles this girl, outsizes her, and just does what she does. She's going to bring the pressure, and I think she could possibly finish Poliana. So, yeah, give me Silva here, money line all day.
Got it, got it.
Pick.
A lot of people out there might like to think women fights tend to go the distance. They usually do at a real high percentage. This is one to where I would say play the fight, not going the distance. And if you play it early, you might be able to get some plus money out there. What do you think about that prop?
Yeah, I mean that Silva, she only has one decision in her whole professional career. I mean that's unheard of when you talk about women's MMA. So, yeah, if
Right.
anything, I mean I think Silva is going to win this fight, and I could see her getting Poliana on the ground and it getting ugly. So yeah, if anything, if I'm taking a prop, I'm going finish here as well.
Let's go, man. Let's keep it going, man. Next fight taking place, man. Former Ultimate Fighter winner Mike Trizano, 9-2. Coming into the UFC, taking on Lucas Almeida, 13-1. Mike Trizano, for the people that's not familiar with him, former Ultimate Fighter winner. I'm real familiar with him. Everybody that was on that series wasn't too big of fans of him. Think they had, yeah. Was that? Nah, that wasn't the one Bryce mentioned. Nah. But yeah, back to this, man. Yeah, it wasn't too many good people on that one. He wasn't a guy that really impressed me once he won the competition. But usually get better, usually improve. Never really done that. Never had a fight to where I was like, remember that Mike Trizano fight?
Nah.
Never,
No.
So it's just one of those things to where he's one of those ultimate fighters to where you have to scratch your head and say, he won that one? Like, yeah, he won it. So, not the most popular Ultimate Fighter winner, at that betting line, man, big favorite, -240, taking on Lucas Almeida, looking to make his debut in the UFC. Lucas Almeida came off of a Contender Series fight. Guess what? Didn't get the win, but Dana White saw something that he liked, man, because still got it brought into the UFC. It's only been a few people like that fight on the Contender Series and still get brought into the UFC off of a loss, But give you some background on him, man. He's an explosive type of fighter, reckless fighter. Fighting out there in jungle. I think it was the Jungle Fight promotion out there in Brazil. That's where all the pretty much top prospects from Brazil fought in before they get to the UFC, where they get picked pretty much approach for him. So, he was the champion out there, real explosive and stuff. So I tend to say, I'm going to be looking at the underdog in this fight just because you know how I feel about Trizano. I'm not too impressed with them. For the people that's parlaying Trizano and stuff, I wouldn't be doing that, man. Now, -230, you could do a lot of better things with that than parlaying Trizano. Or, hey, I don't know, man. Brad could be a Trizano fan. How you see this one?
Yeah, I mean, no, I agree with you, man. He won the show, but bro, he's been quiet ever since. I mean, no one, like you said, no one's talking about Trizano. Cool story with Almeida though. I mean, if you watch the Contender Series fight, he brought it. He put his heart out on there. Didn't lost the fight, so didn't get on the show. Won the jungle fight, and now gets another chance at the UFC, which is a cool story. I wasn't too familiar with Almeida. I had to watch some of his fights just to be transparent, but it looks like a solid stand-up fighter. Doesn't have much of a ground game, though, so I'm going to roll with Trizano here in this one. I mean, he's fought the better competition. He went through that whole show, how to beat all those guys, so this guy's more used to the limelight. I feel like he's more used to the pressure of this UFC atmosphere, and, I think if he's able to implement some grappling, I don't know if Trizano has great grappling, but I know it's probably better than Lucas Almeida's. I think he'll be able to, get this fight to the mat and squeak out some rounds. So, if anything, I'm liking Trizano by decision. You get that at +100. Don't love it, but I feel like if you are just going to take this fight, I feel like you have to go Trizano by decision. Or the underdog here, but I think Trizano will pull this out just off experience.
Yep, and that's the way to bet it pretty much. That's how you cut down that price tag right there from a -230, because that's pretty much his path to victory. That's usually how he's winning his fights anyway. So why pay that juice and worry about something else and parlay it and have a second factor when, hey man, get some plus money and play with the factor like that, because that is his path to victory, and that's probably gonna be the way that he wins. I would
not
say,
sleeping no one.
huh?
Trizano, he's not going to sleep no one. We got to worry about
Nah,
that.
nah, he's not finishing none. See, this is the thing about him, man. I remember his last fight against Dawodu. I had Dawodu straight money, easy money for me. But people, I was kind of a little bit on the fence because, Trizano, I remember him talking about, oh, he switched things up in his camp. He's gonna have a different game plan now. So I'm thinking like, okay, maybe he's gonna have like a wrestling heavy game plan, or he switched up maybe his footwork and stuff like that. Man, he came out there and looked the same way he did before against Dawodu. So I was like, yeah, man. Not too convinced off of whatever you switched or whatever you did. So I will say this, though. The pick, yeah, Trizano should win. I'm not I'm not too highly on Lucas Almeida to make him an underdog, just to fade Trizano because I'm not high on him. So yeah, I'll say Trizano gets that fight as well.
Yep.
Co-main event, man. Before we get to the co-main event, man, Brad, man, tell these people what you got going on at Pick Dogs, how you been going and everything, man. We got a few sports winding down, but still got some packages and some picks for the people out there to get, right?
Oh yeah, man. Every day we got picks up. Look, today I had three MLB picks, or three MLB picks and an NHL pick. You know what? I'm gonna give a premium out for free. I'm feeling it. Take the under 5.5 in the Rangers versus Lightning game. I mean, both goalies are absolute studs. But yeah, I mean, it's baseball season right now. So what? We got like fucking like 12, 15 games every day. So I'm up in the morning looking at those NBA finals winding down here, so I'm gonna have a play on every single one of those games. But yeah, every day 9 p.m. or 9 a.m. Eastern is the latest. My premiums are up, all affordable prices. You can check out my long term stuff as well. So yeah, man, check it out.
Hell yeah, man. Let's keep it going, man. Co-main event time coming up, man. You got Dan Ige, 15-5, taking on Mozart Evlov, 15-0. Man. Betting line, Mozart Evlov opened up at the books roughly around 240, 260 on most books. Some people snatched about a minus 300, minus 320 when they could. Didn't stay out low. All the way up to a minus 400, minus 410 on the books out there. One of those guys to where he has that wrestling pedigree to where a Dagestan Russian fighter to where a lot of people want to back him, a lot of people want to bet him, a lot of people want to parlay him because they're familiar with him. Coming off of a win over Hakeem Dawodu, I was on the Dawodu side just because he had me on a 3-0 winning streak on that fight, so I had to bet him on that one. Knew he wasn't gonna win, but it's one of those things to where it's like, man, you're giving me plus money with somebody that made me money 3 straight times in a row. I can't hop off him until. But I will say this, it was a good fight on there. Evlov just pretty much blasted through and took him down whenever he wanted to in that fight. Dan 50K Ige on the other side, man, if you guys want to get him right now, you guys could get him with all type of plus money out there because everybody's parlaying Evlov, man. And if you didn't get Evlov early, you're going to be paying that juice. Dan Ige, last fight. Josh Emmett coming off of a loss. Korean Zombie coming off of a loss. Gavin Tucker, nice win in round 1. Next fight, Calvin Kattar, coming off of a loss. Coming off of a win over Edson Barboza. It was a split decision. I was actually thinking that Barboza won that fight. A lot of people did too. So when you look at it right there, man, he's coming off of, way more losses than wins. But the caliber of fighters he's fighting, man, is there. The fight IQ, it's not there. But the fight resume is there. Better fight resume. But I'm not trusting him, man. Horrible takedown defense. Evlov's going to dog him out. Do what he wants to on there. As long as he doesn't stay on the feet and get caught with nothing stupid and do the stanky leg, give me Evlov. Parlayed him when he came out early. This is one of those fights to where I'm high on the guy, So I'm all on Evlov. I think he evolved into a different fighter. His brother just won, I want to say, some championship wrestling out there in his country. So it's all in the bloodline right now. The juices is flowing right now. So go ahead, give me Evlov. Take him to win by decision. What about you?
Yeah, I like both these guys a lot. I mean, for Dan Ige, he was at some point, man. He was on a good little run in the featherweight division. I was like, damn, all right, this kid Dan Ige, he seems like he always fights with a chip on his shoulder. Fun fight to watch, but Evlov, I mean, he's just looked flawless in his career. He's like that. He's got the Khabib style, man. It's just domination, just elite takedown skills, and that's what's gonna happen in this fight. He's gonna take Ige down, hold him there. And these odds, man, it's you can't really win with it because Evlov is going to win by decision. I'm almost guaranteed. I don't say guaranteed a lot, but he's going to win by decision, and even that's minus 200. So yeah, like you said, man, parlay piece is the only way to go about this one. I mean, I am confident that he's going to win, but minus 400 money line can't do that. Decision minus 200, still juicy for a prop bet. So yeah, parlay piece all day.
Hear you on that one. Hear you on that one. Yeah, for the people out there, I know it's going to be some people that's going to be chasing, because they're big dog chasers and stuff. I don't think this is the one. I don't think this is the
This
one.
ain't the one.
I will say this, Erin Blanchfield, she's the biggest favorite on the card at a minus 500. Evolov is second at a minus 400 right now. If you were to ask me, I love Blanchfield. She's going to win. I'm confident in that. But I even think J.J. Aldridge is a better underdog to win in that fight than Dan Ige is to win in this fight. That's just how I think it is, man. Like Dan Ige was getting taken down by Korean Zombie at will, and when you're getting that done to you, that's not a good sign going against Evolov at all. So,
Gotcha. That's not
man,
good.
Evolov might even be able to get it done inside the distance, man. Just the way that I don't know, man. He could be so dominant, but it is only a 15-minute fight. If it was 5 rounds, I would say probably he could finish him within, but 15 minutes to be safe. So yeah, Evlov wins by decision. I'll probably be the best bet for that one.
Yep, agreed. Dude's a beast.
Man, speaking of a beast, man, we got some big boys coming up. Main event time. Alexander Volkov, 34-10, taking on Jairzinho Rozenstruik, 12-3. Oh man, last time we seen Volkov in there, got his ass whooped by Tom Aspinall. Aspinall came through. But before that, he did get a win over Marcin Tybura, lost to Cyril Gane, win over Alistair Overeem, win over Walt Harris, lost to Curtis Blades, and a win over Greg Hardy. Pretty much with Volkov, the betting line opened up favorite minus 165 on there. Now he's all the way down to a minus 145 on there. You don't really know what you're gonna get in from fight to fight with Volkov. He looks like he's motivated. Then he looks like he's not. He won that fight with Tybura, but then again, he really did not. Like he looked good, but he didn't. So it's just one of those things. I can't just point my finger on it. Rozenstruik on the other side, man, high explosive kickboxer, doesn't throw enough volume, but when he does, he's explosive, can knock you out. Usually waits a long time to catch you with that one punch, but when he does, it's usually nights out in there, So I think this might be a fight to where I'll keep it for that. Brad, how you see this one playing out?
Yeah, man, this is gonna be a good one. I love this matchup that the UFC made because when it comes to Rozenstruik, I mean, the mid-level guys we seen him beat him well. But against the top-level guys like Francis, Cyril Gane, Curtis Blades, we seen him lose, and I feel like Volkov is just that good next step to where we figure out where Jairzinho actually lies in this heavyweight division. And look, I'm going Jairzinho. Look, as we saw, I can see this fight going similar to how the Derek Lewis Volkov fight goes. Volkov, he's long, he's huge, but he's not fast. He doesn't have really good footwork. He kind of just stands there, and if someone charges at him, he doesn't move fast enough to get out of the way. So I see Volkov starting the fight off well. It's like, okay, Jairzinho starting slow. He's not really throwing much, but once Jairzinho finds his range, I see him catching Volkov in the pocket. So I don't only think Jairzinho is going to win this fight, but I think he KOs him. So I like Jairzinho via KO plus 215, not bad. Yeah, man, I like Volkov shouldn't be dominant just with his body style and how huge he is, but I don't know, he's just lackluster. Like he has good striking, but his movement is just too slow. And when you got these big guys, especially a guy like Jairzinho, he rushes into you. You could go 9-9 real quick. So give me Jairzinho here.
Man, I like it, man. Yeah, I actually think when it comes to it, it's gonna be a 50-50 fight. I'm not mad at anybody picking the underdog in this one. As you see, the bettors are pretty much getting behind the underdog as the line's dropping on Volkov. It's one of those things to where I like to wait to the weigh. Nope, nope, nope. I usually never wait to the weigh-ins, but it's one of those things with Volkov. I'm gonna wait to the weigh-ins because a lot of times, he comes in, sometimes overweight, over by like 10 pounds. Then he'll come into a fight under by 10 pounds that he weighed in like 2 years ago. So it's wishy-washy. I want to see how he looks on the scale. I want to see how his mind is. I want to see if he's pumped up, if he's ready to go. But I will say, I lean Volkov, man. I just do, just because with Rozenstruik, he's one of those guys where he just doesn't throw enough, and he's one of those guys where you're just sitting there and you're like, you can get him, go throw it. And he just won't throw, and I've seen it too many times, and
Five rounds though. 5 rounds.
Huh?
I feel like at some point he's gonna throw that thing, bro. He's gonna throw that shit at some
I,
point.
true, true,
You
yeah,
know?
true. And Volkov is there to get hit and get caught. And Volkov, I will say, like, yes, I that was the thing. Going into the week, I was picking Rozenstruik, and then it's just one of those things to where later on I'm just like, all right, well, through 5 rounds, I'm like, if Volkov just can do what he's supposed to do, and I'm like, and if Rozenstruik does what he does, yes, this is a Volkov fight for me to win because Volkov does throw a lot of volume. I want to say he outstrikes his opponents by 2 more strikes than his opponents per round. Meaning that if his opponent's just throwing 5 strikes per minute, he's doing 7 strikes per minute. And he's taking less damage on that too. So I know that he can definitely win rounds by winning minutes in the round. So that's how I'm looking at this fight right here getting played out. To me, Rozenstruik, watch this. I'll play this. How does Rozenstruik win? If
KOs
he
him.
knocks him out?
Yep.
Got it. Yeah. Fighting a guy that, can only win by, if he gets knocked out to me is like fighting anybody. You can always lose if you get knocked out. So, I mean, I'd rather go with the fighter to where I can see his path to victory, winning by decision. I can see him maybe submitting him. I can maybe see him taking down Rozenstruik because he's a former kickboxer and stuff like that. So, more path to victory. So give me some Volkov right now. If he's wrong, I will say this, man. I usually don't pick him and I usually don't bet him and stuff. So Volkov. I'm giving you a shot, man. I'm giving you a chance. So
I don't
you
know
know,
why. I just see it in my mind. Just Rozenstruik's gonna give him the pressure. Volkov's just gonna be on the cage like with his leg up and shit, and then Rozenstruik's just gonna fucking begin his ass. I don't know. I see it in my mind.
hey, for real.
Yeah, you see that right? And just him dropping.
I can definitely see it
Yeah.
easily happening, and then it's just like, see, we know Volkov is slowing down, and then you see Biggie Boy like, look, you guys, I'm back, and it's like, well, are you really, So
Hey, we'll see
yeah,
though. That's gonna
man.
be a good one. I'm excited for it.
Definitely, definitely, man. Hey, time to get it on, man. Time for what? Best pick, best dog, lottery parlay.
Yeah, what you trying to go with first?
Oh man, let's go with I'll go with my best pick, man.
Hmm.
My best prop of the night, best pick, whatever you want to call it, man. Just take the under in the Alonzo Minefield fight versus Askar. Just take the under. Fight not going the distance. That's my best pick of the week. Both those guys have finishing capability, and yeah, I even think I'm not one of those guys that go the under 2.5. I'm just saying fight not go the distance, but I think it's going under 2.5.
Yeah, I dig it. That guy Askar, he's just a wild man. Some shit's gonna go down in that fight. I'm rocking with Silva. I mean, I think that girl's a beast. But Botelho, I just don't like what I see from her. I think it's a bad matchup. She just seems like a technical fighter, where Silva's an actual fighter who's just gonna bring it. So yeah, give me Karine Silva here. I think she's gonna have a good UFC career. I'm excited to see what she does.
Got it, got it, got it. Okay. I like that. I like that. And yeah, you can get that at like a minus 105, minus 110, whatever. So that's a great pick right there.
Hmm.
Best dog, who you got for me, Brad?
Jairzinho, bro. I seen it in my mind. I seen it in my mind. Volkov is going to sleep, bro. Give me Jairzinho.
Hey, okay. Yeah, best dog. Yep, yep, yep. Best dog, huh?
Who you got?
Ah, shit, that's a good one right there. All right, yeah. Here we go. Best dog. Alex De Silva. You can get him at roughly a plus 135. He's fighting Joe Selecki. Joe Selecki opened up at a minus 220. Yeah, so the people out there that got Alex De Silva way early on in the week, that's the one I'll give out, man. Alex De Silva on a lot of books out there is plus 135, plus 140 shop around for the best line.
Okay, not feeling Mr. Selecki.
It's not that. I'm still mad, bro. He lost money for me last time against Josh Gordon. Didn't throw any punches, so it's kind of like one of those things to where I think Selecki should win, but I mean he's a wrestler and Silva's aggressive. So it's like when he's going for those takedowns, I can see him. I don't know, man. Yeah, it's kind of hard because this card, I like a lot of the favorites on there. I got a lot of the favorites I like.
Yeah, I feel
Yeah.
you. De Silva, I mean, 21-3, has a lot of experience. Yeah, that should be a good one. I think those odds are a little off there too, so I dig it.
But I will say this, I'm a Joe Selecki type better and stuff. So it's like, I usually bet the wrestlers and stuff like that. So it's one of those, all right, let me just, yeah. No, yeah, see, it's not a dog, though. See? Yeah, I got another one I like, but she's not a dog. It's a low price, though, but it's not a dog.
No,
All right, man. Hey, we'll just get it, man. Who you winning the lottery with your parlay this week, man?
yeah, I like this parlay a lot. Got to throw Evilov in there. I just don't see how Danny Gay wins that fight. Jeff Molina, love that there. And then my girl Silva, I'm all in on her. So love those three. Those are
Molina, hold on. Let me, Molina, say it again.
yeah, El Jefe, Molina, yeah, Evilov and Silva.
Okay, all right, cool. Hey, that's a nice little trio right there. So if you play those three right there for his lottery pick, depending on what numbers you can get him at, but the basic number, that's a plus 245 parlay, probably a plus 250, plus 260 on most of your other books out there. But plus 245 parlay right there if you parlay all three of those, man. I like it, man. You know me. I ain't playing no games, man. Give me Aaron Blanchfield. Give me Evolov. Give me Mike Jackson. Yeah, I'm laying it. Minus 130. That's the parlay we're going to hit, man. Lottery pick parlay. Blanchfield, Jackson, and Evolov. Minus 130. Let's go. Roll the dice.
There we go. That does it, Mills. Another one bites the dust.
Another one bites the dust, man. Another one in the books, man. Appreciate everybody that's watching this on the replay. A lot of people's not watching it live. But if you guys are watching on the replay, drop a comment out there. Let me know what's your play, what's your pick. Hey, if you guys get something right, I'll shout you out next week when we go over the next card. But, man, until then, stay in tune, man, because we definitely got those premium picks and those packages. Right now, we're killing in MMA. Just trying to give you guys, our breaks and our perspectives on all these fights that's going to be coming up. Appreciate everybody that's watching this. Definitely, though, man, hit that like button and hit that subscribe right here at Pick Dogs. We're doing the best free pick videos that you guys can get on the internet. Pretty much anything else you want to tell them, Brad?
That's it, man. It was a pleasure, guys. We'll see you next week.
Let's go.
Peace.